and welcome to a special video. I have a new paint stripping system and I'm going to be trying it out here. I just got it set up yesterday. So yeah, we're gonna try it out on a 301 parts machine. So basically this is the product. I have a 30-gallon tank. I've used about half of it in my little tank up here. What I have, just so you know, this is a canner. This is a big rectangular canner. This is the one from Lehman's, 𝐿EHMANS.com. I actually drove up there and picked it up because most of the ones that you'll find on like Amazon or something are not as strong. And what makes this one super strong is it has this welded rolled edge with that reinforcement piece going all the way around because I want it to be super strong. So what I have, and it looks kind of dark in there because I actually played some with a machine last night, but my liquid is in there, and then on top of the liquid I have about half a gallon of just plain mineral oil on top of it. And the mineral oil is supposed to stop it from evaporating so much, from throwing fumes out. You know, it's supposed to do all kinds of betterment things. Now, I have this set up right underneath an exhaust fan. It actually doesn't put out a whole lot of fumes, but I still, when I'm using it, I want to have that fan going when I'm, you know, pulling things in and out. Down here, this is full of water down there. And I have some big old honkin' blasting gloves, but those are actually way too big for me, so I have some smaller gloves on order. But for right now, we will make those work. And that is pretty much it. This big orange band is a heater. This stuff works a lot better if it is about 180 degrees. So it is the night before right now. I'm going to plug in my heater, and I think this is centigrade, and I'm thinking if I crank this up to about 80, it's going to be hotter out here than inside. That will do a decent job of warming up my tank. So in addition to this, yep, I can feel that band heating up. I think I have a little piece of something in my finger. I have a blanket that I'm going to throw over that to try to keep it kind of insulated so that all my heat doesn't just evaporate off. And we will give it a shot to see how she does on an aluminum machine. I'm going to show you, I just threw a, you know, funky blanket that we kind of use for packing and stuff over here. And I can already tell that there's a whole lot of heat being trapped in there. So that should make my tank heat up a lot sooner. So right now it's actually about 6 p.m. If this heats up fast enough, I might try to strip that machine tonight because it shouldn't take that long. So I will be back up here to check on it in about another hour or so. Good morning. So it's about almost 6:30 in the morning, and I'm going to be putting this in. And this is a parts machine, and because of that, I wanted to point out there's a little rubber grommet still in here. I'm leaving that in because I just want to see what this stuff does for rubber in case something ever gets left in. The gears are still in, you know, it's got some extra craftiness on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. I just turned on my fan, lifted off the lid. It's definitely, well, it's not crazy hot, but it's definitely hot-ish out here. I don't have a thermometer to throw in there. I'll have to grab one from the house. Feels warm, so I'm going to call it good. I need to turn off the camera so I can use my gloves and a couple hands and carefully put the machine into the tank. All right, so I just put it in there. I know you can't see it because I can't even see it. I'm going to go ahead and close up the lid. I honestly don't smell any fumes or anything at all, but I do have my exhaust fan on just in case. The heater is still plugged in. I'm going to set my timer for an hour and come back out here in an hour and see what it looks like. Okay, it has been almost an hour and I really need two hands to pull this out. But if I can reach in, wow. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so this is where we stand. Now, the plate still has paint on it, and usually the paint on the bottom of the bed is a lot thicker than anywhere else. So I am going to be putting it back in to see how long it takes to get that paint off. But it's amazing. This was very filthy on the bottom and it's clean there. And this rubber seems to be fine. So I feel like I can be confident putting rubber things in. You know, the gears are very clean and they still work well and everything. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this so far. Let me get a monster glove on here and flip her over so you can see the bottom. Okay, the bottom was very, very dirty and it is sparkling clean right now. So yeah, that's really good. Okay, it's been 1 more hour and I'm going to go ahead and pull the machine out. Look at that. I've just pulled it out and rinsed it off, but all of that paint is gone. I can just wipe off any residual stuff here with a rag. As I said, this little tote here has some water, so I just kind of dunk it in the water. But yeah, she's good. She is good. I will do a finish clean and everything. But I'm going to call this paint removal system a huge success. I actually tried it on an iron machine last night or 2 nights ago when I first set it up without the heater on, and it still worked without the heater. So just thought I would show that to you. The little rubber grommet is still perfectly fine. Everything inside is still good. So there you go. One more thing I want to show you. What I did is after what you just saw, I wiped her down with just a rag, and I have a bucket and a hose over here that I just kind of dunked her in and put fresh water over her because the stuff in that black tank is just like reused. And then after I pulled her out of there, I sprayed her dry with my air compressor, brought her back over here and used my heat gun and just kind of dried her off and wiped her down. And she's looking great. There's no problem with the gears. That noise is because there's stuff disassembled down here, so ignore that. Here is that grommet, and it still looks very strong and intact. And it was an old one to start with, so that's cool. But you can see everything is free. And I'm not really seeing any big issues. I'm really not. And if you could have seen the underside before, sorry I didn't show you, it was very, very greasy. It had that shellac-y oil stuff all over her. So that cleaned up totally too. So anyhow, there you go. Just for fun, I had a old 27 that was all disassembled, and I just popped that in there. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and keep the camera going, and in an hour we'll check in and see where that 27 is, just so you can see what it does with an iron machine. Okay, so here it is. This was in the tank for 1.5 hours. Okay, so that's half an hour shorter than the other one. And what I did is when I pulled her out, I rinsed her off, dried her off with the air compressor and wiped her down. And this is what we have, which is amazing. She spins like brand new. Just wild. There is no flash rust appearing, which is also amazing. And look how shiny that medallion is. So yeah, this was just a carcass from a parts machine, but now I'm thinking I might have to do something pretty with it. So that is it. That's my grand experiment. Hope you liked it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.